The first thing you'll need to do when you're assisting students with the Florida Choices program is help them go to the website, log in by creating a new portfolio. You'll click on Adult and Post-Secondary, then you'll click on New Portfolio, and it's going to begin asking the students a series of questions, just general kinds of information. They'll list the county where they reside, the school or agency that they're affiliated with. If their school is not listed, they can click Other or just choose another school within their district. And then we'll start out just entering the student's name. So this is Joe Smith. Birth date is going to be March 1st, 1983. Joe is a female, and the profile name, we're just going to name it Joe and use her birth date. And that would be 03/01 1983. And typically for creating a password, we tell our students to use their birth date. Just it helps them remember, and then we're able to sometimes provide a little guidance without having to go to a password retrieval. But it would be 03/01 1983. 03/01 1983. And then their email address. Joe Smith 83 at live.com. And they click Create Their Portfolio, and it's really that easy. Once they have their portfolio created, it'll give them the option to learn about career management, information about getting hired, training and education, but we always tell our students to start first with Florida Choices Planner because they need to start setting up a portfolio that will gather some information that's specific to them. We also ask them to personalize it just a little bit. We ask them to customize the Choices Planner, provide some information about where they live, and then also begin that career plan builder. It says mix and match your future options, work, learning, and the rest of your life to create the right future for you. So when we click on Career Plan Builder, it says your career plan shows what type of work and learning are going to help you create the kind of future life you want. Create a new career plan. And then it says the career plan will show them what type of work and learning are going to help them create the kind of future life they want. And then it tells them, of course, that it's easy and more fun than they think. And because it's all about them, there's no right or wrong answers. So it really is a motivating opportunity for them to learn about themselves and work. Right. It tells them that they're going to be looking at 3 different options: work, finding the right career path, and connecting it to education. They also have the option to just go right to learn. If they already have a career or college program in mind, they can kind of jump and start here, though we always recommend that our students begin with the Work tab. And then life, imagining how their life will look a decade from now. What kind of wages do they want to be earning? Where do they feel like they want to be living? What kind of work do they want to actually be doing? And then they click on Start Your Plan Now. And the first part of it is to choose a career for their plan. Right now, none have been chosen. So they can either explore careers or actually go to the Work tab, which is where we ask our students to go, and begin looking in here at some of the different options. You'll notice the first thing it does is list the career clusters and pathways that we've already discussed earlier in our training. It also shows them that they're able to search for careers using things like salary, skills, and interests. It actually has a search engine built in. And searching careers that by using just the education level, salary, and cluster finder or career clusters that they're interested in. They can compare careers, compare salaries, education needs, etc. And then this is a link back to that career plan builder. In our agency, we always ask students to begin with the interest profiler, which is connecting yourself to careers. This is a series of assessments that allows the students to connect information about themselves, their interests, skills they already have, experiences they already have, to the world of work. This is especially helpful for students who come in with a very vague or even no idea of what it is they would like to do. So we start out with the first one is interest profiler, and then just figures out what interests they have and matches them to different careers. It says the goals of the interest profiler are to find work interests and help you match them to career options. And again, we have our students begin with interest profiler. and they just start answering questions. We're not going to answer all 60 of them, but we are going to show you just a couple of them so you'll be able to provide your students with guidance. This interest profiler will ask them a series of questions where they would kind of picture themselves doing this type of work for 10 or 20 years, and is that something I would like doing? Sounds very interesting. Not really sure, or no way. Dislike, I would absolutely not want to do that for 5, 10, or 20 years to earn a living. We always tell students to limit their choices of not sure. It creates vagueness and it makes it more difficult for the engine to zero down, drill down to what really are careers based on their interests. So try to have them choose like or dislike. And again, we'll do just a few of them to let you see what it looks like. Build kitchen cabinets. I can't see myself doing that. Lay brick or tile? No. Developing a new medicine? No. Water pollution? No. Write books or plays? That sounds very interesting. Playing a musical instrument, teaching somebody how to do an exercise routine, those are things I would enjoy doing. Helping people with personal or emotional problems? Well, I would like to do that. I'm not really sure if that's something I could do for a living. Definitely would not want to be selling stocks and bonds. Managing a retail store? Sure. Developing a spreadsheet using computers? Love to do that. Proofreading, records, forms? Sure. Repairing things? No. Raising fish? No. Conducting chemical experiments? Studying the movement of planets? Composing or arranging music? Drawing pictures? Giving career guidance to people? Not sure about this one. Probably not. Yes, I would like that. And you can see that there are numbers of questions. We're going to go ahead and just kind of Christmas tree the rest of these just to get us down to the end. And then we'll move on to the next one. Alright, and we're almost to the end. And you can see these just seem to have really no connectedness, but alright, now once you're finished, it will bring the students to their top 3 interests based on the areas that they chose. Sometimes you'll see more, but then it asks them to zero in on 2 of their top interests before continuing. I'm an organizer. It says I'm artistic, conventional. Artistic, I like to create things. Enterprising, I like to persuade people to do things. I can see myself doing this and probably this as my top 2. Now at this point I can check out careers matching or see how my interests match up with other career clusters. I can click on that, look at how that works, and you'll see with finance, and it actually will lay out those different career clusters and pathways and tell me where I might fit in the best. And you'll notice that STEM and human services seem to be very low. Health science, architecture, these are going to be my top ones based on the Christmas tree that I just did. Alright, and it does give me an option to do some changing if I feel that this wasn't accurate. Alright. The next thing I'm going to do is go back to that work tab and show you that there is a work values sorter. And when I talk about work values, it says to find out those things that I value in my working environment and how they match up to career options. And again, I'm not going to go through this one all the way, but I do want you to see how this one's laid out. It asks the students to take these cards and place them and categorize them either as most important, more important, somewhat less, and least important. And they simply click and drag. I want to be able to make use of my abilities. That's important. I want to be treated fairly. That's important. Being busy all the time. I want to be busy. Opportunity for advancement. Sure. Give directions and instructions to others. And you can just kind of see how these, you just kind of place them wherever they would be. Once they have them organized, and they can move them around. If they decide they don't really have, they have something in the wrong place, they can get them out here and then move them around. Once they feel that they're set and it's a true reflection of what they think and how they feel, they hit the next place and it says continue on to the next piece. And here it says my top work values are recognition and achievement, and you saw that I just basically Christmas treed that, but those are the two that came up. And again, it does a breakdown: recognition, achievement, relationships, support, independence, and working conditions. And they can even click on these to find out a little more information about them. All right, and again, now this is all being stored in my profile. Okay, you can write your results in your work journal, your portfolio journal, or go back to the work tab and look at some of these others. There is a basic skills survey that helps them find out which careers require the basic skills they already have. And again, we'll take a quick look at that. It helps you assess your basic skills and match them to career options. And it asks them to actually look at things related to basic skills regarding math, reading, and language skills. And once they click on these, it allows them to continue on. Interest profile or work values sorter and cluster finder are the top three for us in our organization that we rely on. We truly do encourage students to work through the other ones as well, but those three give us a good idea or a good starting place to help guide our students. In this case, it matches their interests and personal qualities to the Florida career clusters and allows them to help explore future options for employment within Florida. Personal qualities, favorite subjects, etc. So here it tells them that they're going to review some of the activities they like. It says choose the activities you would like to do in the future and the ones you're interested in or able to do right now. The more you choose, the better your results will be. So you're going to go through and find some that really reflect your own interests. Exploring new things, taking an interest in people, I love to use computers, they might think, etc. And then it goes on. And you can see that they would continue. And you would want them to go through each of those different categories. You like to attend school, finding answers. They might say, I love to go hunting and fishing. Performing duties in a lab, communicating, organizing activities, networking. All right, and then continue. And it will go through 4 different sets of these activities. And I'm going to just, again, grab a couple in each one so that you can see what those results look like. It's really quite fun. I would encourage you as a volunteer advocate to go in and set up your own account as if you were a student and play with this. Answer the questions as they reflect you, your life, your experiences, and kind of see what the choices are, how they roll out, if it matches up the kind of work that you've done or that you've always been interested in doing. Now, page 1 of 2, personal qualities checklist. Here it asks them to rate themselves, choose some of the words that best describe you. And so they would go ahead and click on these. Independent, daring, curious, observant, neat and organized. I know folks who would argue with that, but let's just, for the sake of argument, put that in there. And then hit continue. And they like to be active physically, imaginative, somebody who likes to listen, they're open-minded, they're patient, efficient. All right, now it says page 1 of 1 subjects checklist. There's a list here of different kind of school subjects, and it asks them either when they were in school or if they're in school now to click on those things that are most interesting and enjoyable for them. And let's just go ahead and click a few very quickly. They love their drafting elective, family consumer science, social studies, life sciences. Okay, and let's put English. All right, and then let's see what the top clusters are. Right. This actually did a ranking based on all of those answers and said that for this person, for Joe Smith, education and training ranked highest, followed by business management and administration, and then closely followed by STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Okay, and then survey selections. It summarized my answers for me. And by the way, you can print this out for students. And now it says view careers in this cluster in education and training. It's not just about school. College and universities, farm and home management advisors. It could even be a health educator within a doctor's office or at a hospital. So there are a lot of different options for folks who are interested in education but who don't see themselves working in a school setting. And this allows them to actually go through and explore them. So for instance, if I clicked on public health educator, it would take me to the job description, tell me about what that person would be doing, what kind of working conditions and physical demands would be placed on them, and what kind of work hours they might expect. You can also drill further into this career and find out about salary, education needs, etc. There are also options for students to watch videos and to see a very brief QuickTime video that shows a person doing that work. Alright, so you can see that those videos could be very, very helpful for someone who says it sounds interesting, but I'm not really sure if I know what that really is all about. Those videos do a great job of explaining and helping students hone in on whether or not that's something they might be interested in doing. So it also allows them to go a little further and find out for public health educator in the state of Florida, or I could even put in a zip code. In my case, I'll put in the zip code for Inverness, and I can search for jobs that might be available for that job, openings that might be available for that job. And as you can see, these are real-time, real jobs that are currently available in Inverness, Florida for public health educators. Licensed practical nurses as well as marketing representatives. Let me go a little bit further. Working within pediatrics, explaining to moms and you know how to take care of their babies. Seeking staff, psychiatrists, etc., etc. You can see all different kinds of jobs related to that job description. All right, let's go back. It's really a wonderful tool in terms of helping your students explore different options, expand their horizons if they don't have a lot of experience in workplaces, letting them see what kinds of jobs exist beyond just the obvious that they're already aware of. I can also find out about the money and the outlook for this job, which is really helpful for your students. In the state of Florida, what are the average annual wages, entry level as well as experienced? If there's an experienced hourly rate, so they can do some comparison. And then they can also look across the different regions of Florida to find out how those different areas compare. If it's someone who's willing to move, to go outside of their home community to look for employment, they can see how the different job markets compare. So again, just a wealth of information for your students as they try to make these choices. There's also a section called What to Learn, and it tells them about the educational programs and requirements that they need to participate in order to be successfully able to enter that marketplace for that job. The different kinds of skills they're listed there, and at what level. If they really struggle with mathematics and they've chosen a job that says that they need an advanced level of math, they might want to look a little further or make plans to do some remediation in math or get some advanced mathematics training. And then this question, is this for you? It breaks it down again, kind of summarizes it, and it allows them to compare it to what they've learned about themselves as they completed these different assessments. All right, and let's go back to my portfolio. All about me. When I click on that, it lists my information. If I've created a resume, or I've done some practice interviewing, or I've created a cover letter, it will save all of that here for me. If I decide to change schools, this will still be in existence. If I complete a program at Withlacoochee Technical Institute and I go on to the College of Central Florida, I can change that. I can also edit my personal information, etc. Let me go back again to the things I saved. It will show everywhere I have been. I've been looking in career choices. I've looked specifically at public health educator. I viewed education and training today. And again, as I go through and have time to work through Florida Choices, it'll continually save and add to my portfolio. Again, just a great tool. And also, there's a great tool embedded within Choices, which is the Scholarship Finder. And as you work as a volunteer advocate to help students locate resources for their education, you'll want to go to this site with them and actually do some exploring. Beyond just completing the FAFSA application, which we're going to hear about later, students will need to know that this resource is also available to them. I hope you found this valuable, and we're going to go ahead and return to our module.